Okay, I'm live. What is going on, everybody? This is Jen catching you on DTWJ. Hope you're all having a great day here on Sunday. This is Lady Serena coming at you. All of my brothers and sisters, mamas and papas, everybody else who's watching and who's joining this discussion today. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and wait for whoever wants to go ahead and join me. Hey, what's going on, bro? Lex, what's going on? Yay! You're here. Hi. Yes, we have an atheist in the house, people. That is awesome. I love that. Because my bro here is a very intelligent man, and he happens to, put a really good, physical spin on discussions that we happen to have, which I think is pretty cool. Very humanitarian, too. My burly smile. Wow, what does that mean? That's funny. I'm glad you're doing good. That's awesome. Oh. So, is there anything that you wanted to discuss? Burpy, not burly. Oh, okay, yeah. Thanks. Yes, my burpy smile. Too funny. Way too funny. Yeah, I tend to do that without even noticing it. Like I said the last time, it's like breathing. I swear I don't even realize I'm doing it. Yes. So what have you been up to today? I know your mom says that you've been busy. Super busy with all of your awesomeness, which I've been seeing on your wall, by the way. Friggin' sweet. If any of you guys want to go ahead and visit my bro Lex on Facebook, I'm going to drop his Facebook in the description of this video here on YouTube so that you guys can see it. Hey Lisa, what is going on, girl? What's up, sis? I'm glad that you joined. So what metaphysics are we up to? That is a good question. See, this is, you're crawling out of bed. Okay, yeah, that's how I was at 11 o'clock this morning. To answer your question there, this is basically just like an off-the-cuff, live discussion type thing. I usually like to do a Q&A, so that would help people to better understand what metaphysics is. Because there are a lot of people that aren't exactly familiar with the term, except they live it, breathe it, eat it, sleep it every single day, and they have no clue that they are. One good example is the fact that you're breathing. Like I said during the last live shoot that I did, live show, I don't know what to call it, live episode. What is up, Marty? How are you doing today? Breathing is metaphysical because your spirit reminds your brain, which is physical, okay? Your spirit or your energetic field talks to your brain, and your brain talks to your body, which makes things happen in your body. That in itself is metaphysics. All right. Not much, just doing odds and ends, yeah. That's everybody on every Sunday. Just trying to pick up the house, the kids, the cat. God, so much going on, right? What is going on, Cher? I know you didn't join yet, but what is good, my love? Yes, I'm getting notifications left and right. Yay, that's awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, just the act of breathing itself is metaphysical because you're a spirit in this vehicle that's your body. So the way that I see it is that your spirit reminds your brain, like, hey, I need to breathe. So your brain sends that message down into your body, and all of a sudden, you breathe. How do you think you wake up every single day? Your spirit comes back to your body. Sometimes, that's a different topic in of itself, which is, what do you call it, astral projection. At times when, you think that you're dreaming and that it's really your subconscious that's playing things out. Sometimes your spirit actually leaves your body when you are dreaming. And that's why sometimes your dreams might feel a little bit too real. And the thing that wakes you up every day is your spirit returning to your body. So your spirit is like, yo, wake up. And it sends that message to your brain, and your brain sends that message to your body, which makes it become physical, and boom, you wake up. That's how it works. Some people say, God did not forget to wake me up today. And you know what? That's true. God is spirit. Spirit is energy, or goddess, or however you want to see it. So you yourself have your own spirit. You're made of that energy from the source energy. And that source energy within you, if not your higher power, sends a message to your brain, hey, dude, you got to wake up today. You got to get up. You got things to do. I'm telling you, I don't even set my alarm clock. I actually go with what is called a natural sleeping cycle. And when I do that, I allow my spirit to govern my brain and my body instead of having my alarm wake me up every single day. All right, let me show you, oh God, what my alarm looks like. It's actually one of those things that you get from a truck stop. It's called the Screaming Meanie. I don't know if you can see it. It's upside down. I'm sorry. It's a Screaming Meanie. Yay. Yeah. I don't even use this. I rarely use it. The only time that I use it is if I have to attend a meeting over Skype or in person, or if I have to get out and do some kind of field work. That's about the only time that I set this alarm. Outside of that, I work with what I call a natural sleeping cycle, and that's always changing all the time. People think that it's weird or that I'm weird for it, but it's always changing. And I allow it to do that because I want my rhythm to be natural. I mean, people say the circadian rhythm is day and night, or night and day. Night and day, I think of you. Oh, Frankie Sinatra. But you know something? It always changes. What is natural to one person may not be natural to the next person. So instead of using that Screaming Meanie to get up every single day so that I can join what is that circadian rhythm, I have my own natural rhythm within myself. And yes, it does change all the time because I allow my spirit to come back to my body when I'm ready to wake up, when I have to wake up. And it sends a message, like I said, to my brain, Jen, wake up. And my body follows through. That's metaphysics. Lex says, I think my personal electromagnetic field is part of my metaphysical experience. That invisible layer holds more info than we tend to use. That's actually true, Lex. Our energetic field, like I said, our spirit or energetic matter is what sends messages to our brain, so it becomes a neurological thing. And the reason, why that electromagnetic field is a part of our energy is because electricity in itself is physical energy. And that's how our spirit or our energetic matter communicates with everything else. We are part electricity, even if not necessarily in our physical body. Think of it as like an outer aura or an outer layer of yourself. That is spirit or energetic matter that is around you all the time. If you ever go to a metaphysical shop, there are some out there that actually take what are called aura photos, and your electromagnetic field actually gives off colors at certain times. So depending on how your spirit or energy communicates with your body and everything else around you and your surroundings, your atmosphere, that is the color, or those are the colors that your aura is going to be. That's why, people take aura photos, or they can actually see your aura. There are people out there who can actually see your electromagnetic field, and that's exactly what your aura is an electromagnetic field. Thank you, Lisa. She says, I like your take on metaphysics so far. Don't want to astral project, scary kind of. You know what, Lisa? A lot of people feel that way, and I honestly recommend not going out of your way to do it on purpose. unless you have somebody there to guide you through it, to help you through it while you're doing it. And one way to have somebody guide you through it is from a distance. Like if you have a teacher or a mentor to help you through it, that's actually most helpful. That person will end up either going to sleep at the same time that you're sleeping, matching circadian rhythms, so that that person can wake you up as he or she wakes up, or they'll stay awake so that they can wake you up from a distance. And yes, that is possible. That can be done. Max Sparks, what is going on, buddy? It's good to see you. What's up, bro? Lex says, no alarm clock here either. I tell myself when I want to wake up and my body does the rest. It's very effective. No alarm clock in 10 years. That is impressive. Bro, that is freaking impressive. It is. I mean, I have to say that, you know, for 8 years, I have not used an alarm clock with the exception of 2 years within that 8 years because I had a job on the side of running my business. So I had to use that so that I could wake up every, you know, whenever somebody else wanted me to wake up. But yeah. Lisa, okay, you do the same sleep cycle that I do. That's most awesome. Most awesome. What is up, Philip? How are you today? Hope you're doing good. Right. Lex says they need to regulate all that electricity is a good reason we are mostly water and empty space. Total conjecture on my end, but seems reasonable. Well, yeah, I mean, we are made up of, I believe, 80% water or 70% water, and the rest of us is physical matter, skin, organs, etc. And that's why, you know, I had described earlier that our electromagnetic field or our aura that is around our body is representation of our energy or our spirit. And it's true that it is electromagnetic. It's outside of your body. The reason why it's outside of your body is because if you ingest it for any reason, you'll die. You will absolutely die. Physically, it is impossible to have a certain voltage of electricity or electromagnetic energy in your body because you will not survive it. That's why it lives outside of your body as an aura. Oh, la, 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 la. Jeffrey, what is going on? What's up, bro? He says you only need an alarm clock if you sleep. Yeah, some of us have that, you know what, I'll rest when I die mentality, but dude, if you don't get that rest, man, you're not going to be healthy. You have to be healthy. Thank you, Jack. What is going on? Welcome to the chat today. Thank you so much for showing up, and thank you for the compliment. I really do appreciate that. You're welcome, Philip. All right, Lex says that my brother and I astral project into each other's heads all the time. It's uncanny how we are not just in tune with each other, but actually swipe thoughts. We will finish conversations that were in the other person's head. Freaks us out. My mom and I have the same thing. And I think I touched on this on the last live feed that I did, the last episode that I did. My mom and I could be miles away from each other. Guys, thank you for all the love, by the way. That is most awesome. Thank you so much. I see a bunch of hearts floating. Yay! That is so sweet. I could be in New York City. And this actually happened to me once. I believe it was in the year 2000. In the year 2000! That was funny. Whoever gets that reference, let me know. And I literally had to spend $3 in quarters just to call her because I actually had a feeling. And that feeling actually ended up entering my mind as a thought, not necessarily my own thought. What is up, Cassie? How you doing? And it was not my own thought. It was her thought. And it wasn't necessarily like a coherent thought. It was like a thought based on feeling. And I felt like this overwhelming feeling of worry and anxiety. And I know that it wasn't mine. It wasn't really my thoughts that were happening, because if it were like my worry and anxiety, it would be clear thoughts, but it wasn't. It was my mom. So I took that $3 and I ended up hitting up the payphone when those things still existed. I called her, and I must have spent a good 20 minutes on that phone call telling her that I was okay and letting her know that she had come through to me that day when I was over in New York City, and that I actually picked up her worry, and that I had to call her because, you know, the feeling was just so overwhelming. So yeah, that was a 20-minute conversation that cost $3, and it was totally worth it. But it proves to me that these things do really happen. That we can, in fact, send each other thoughts or have a conversation without ever opening our mouths. That we can, in fact, visit each other's dreams at times. Those things do happen all the time. Whether we're awake or we're sleeping, we're always sending each other messages and thoughts and our love all the time. So yeah, Lex, very, very freaking cool. Very insightful. Jack, no need for an alarm here. Okay. I love you too, Cassie. You're at Hollywood Studios? No kidding. Over in Orlando, Florida? Is that where you're at? You love the year 2000, Lisa. You know what? I did too. I did too, because a lot of good things happened in that year. I miss it, but at the same time, I realize that every year has its good things, and I have so much to be grateful for. Especially, you know, for all of you, because if it wasn't for, you know, all the years that I'd gotten into video editing and production and put myself out onto YouTube and then joined Facebook, I would not have met any of you. And I consider, you know, most of you to be very close to me, close to my heart. I love you all. Oh, you got a scram? I love you too, bro. Oh, most definitely. I do not mind doing this, and I'm going to be doing this every single week at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. All right, you guys? Okay. I will give Mom a hug, I promise. I know your mom's all the way over in Georgia, so I talk to her regularly just to see if she's okay, how she's doing. Dude, I'm sorry, but her doctor is pissing me off. Yes, I will give Mom a hug, I promise. Alright, honey. Love you, bro. I will see you later, and can't wait to see you on here next week, because we do have to talk about that. Okay. So, yeah. As Lex and I were talking about, it is possible to, you know, be able to have a conversation from a distance, or even if you're actually close to that, close in proximity to that person, like that person could be sitting right in front of you, it is absolutely possible to have a conversation without necessarily opening your mouth. You could go off of, that is really sweet. Ah, I love her too. Thank you. I do, I love her too. She's such a sweet woman. She really is. It is most definitely possible to be able to have a full conversation based off of electromagnetic wave, your aura, or even your mind in itself. It is possible to have a conversation like that without opening your mouth ever. I mean, how do you think we talk to our departed loved ones? How do you think that we talk to our higher power, or gods, or goddesses, or orishas? How do you think... What's up, Karen? What's going on, sis? I am so happy to see you here. How do you think we're able to talk with the spirit world in general, or the outer planes in the universe? How do you think we're able to do this without opening our mouths? It's because our mind is connected to our spirit matter and our energy, which is existent outside and inside of us at the same time. You know, like Lex and I were talking about, and I'd responded. About 70 or 80% of us is made of water. So this electromagnetic field that we have, that is our aura, cannot actually come inside of us. However, spirit still exists within us. Why do you think we're able to be animated and talk and breathe? Okay? That is metaphysics. That is what metaphysics is. Hold on. I cannot see it. Ah! Okay. Couldn't resist. Ah! Yay! I love you. That's right. Hugs and smooches. Give Owen and Abby hugs and smooches for me, okay? Give them their Aunt Jenny love. That's right. Mm-hmm. So, Karen, what is your take on the electromagnetic field, which is our aura, and the fact that our body is made of 70 to 80% of water? How could you explain or describe how spirit can exist within and without us? Could you possibly give us an answer here, because I know that you're intelligent, and not that nobody here isn't. I'm just saying, I know that I know you well. I've known you forever. I know that you can answer this. You can do it. If you want, I can repeat this, the question. Let me know. That's a good question, Lisa. Do you have to see the person face to face to see a person's aura? No, you do not have to. It's not absolute that you have to be in front of a person to see their aura. Yes, it helps that you're in front of that person to be able to see or feel their aura, because some can see and some can empath it, some can feel it purely. Some people have both. It does help to have a person in front of you to get that information. Or on video right now. Like, what do you feel from me? What do you get from me right now? What do you get from my energetic field? From like the outside or from the projective? Figured I'd ask you that, because I'm right in front of you right now. But you don't have to be in front of a person in order to be able to see or feel their aura or their energy. Definitely not. You don't even have to see the person. Like I said, this ties in with astral projection. If a person astrally projects to you and is in your space right now as pure energy or pure spirit, not in their body, but they're visiting you, this happens in, deep meditation or when they're sleeping. You can actually feel that it's them. There's always that something. Maybe they have a certain smell, or a certain way that they talk, or like a certain way that they feel when you're used to feeling them, that you pick up on and you just know who it is. Okay. Karen says, I absolutely believe our body is a conduit for energy, spiritually as well. I believe that too. Hold on. Being empathic, yes. Being empathic itself, which I am, doesn't require face-to-face. I agree with you, Jen. Yeah. When you're an empath, or you have any one of the clairs, clairvoyance, clairtessiance, clairaudience, there's a whole list of them. I believe that I written them in my grimoire. I'll have to get that in a minute. But yeah, if you possess one or multiple amount of those clairs, then you can do that. Some people, hey Kevin Jones, what's good, buddy? Thank you for joining. Some people can empath it. Some people call themselves a sage. Some people call themselves a medium. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the feedback and for telling me. That's awesome. So anytime that I could project over to you, that's probably what you're going to pick up on, and chances are that's going to be me. Because I do project whether I try to or not. I do it naturally. I don't even try. I do it all the time, mostly when I'm sleeping. That probably explains why I have these very vivid dreams that seem so real when I'm flying over houses, or when I'm kind of sitting in a room and watching a situation happen. I've had a lot of dreams like that. So I tend to travel a lot, quite a lot. So you'd be able to feel me. You'd be able to know I'm there. Karen says, I'm over here shaking my head yes to everything on how you're explaining the topic. Most awesome. Yeah. I swear, ever since we met, it doesn't matter what the hell we talk about. We're always in some kind of agreement. You and me, Karen. And even when we disagree, Like, we still have an understanding. So, like, thank goodness for that. I'm glad that I have you in my life. You're fucking beautiful. I love you. Let me go ahead and get my grimoire really quick, because I don't know if I wrote them down in there, but I'm sure that I did. So hold on a second, please. Love you guys. Thank you for showing up. All right. Yes. Okay. My grimoire. I do have it. Ooh. Ooh. I just did that Michael Jackson. Ooh. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Loving is the feeling now. Oh! Oh! You know that moment that you do something that's a part of a song and it just kind of makes you want to break out in it? I did that when I sat down. I'm like, oh! And then I just heard that 70s in my head. I'm like, yes! MJ all the way, baby. Pardon. Wherever he's at, I hope that he's flying with freedom and he's doing good. I love that guy. Love that man. Right here, this is the second grimoire that I'm working on at the moment. And I wanted to go ahead and open it up. Heck yeah, I'm getting it. And I'm opening it up to where I wrote down about... That's it. That's it. It's right here. And check it out. I even designed it. Fields of Intuition is what I called it, instead of Fields of the Nephilim. I don't know if any of you guys know about that band, but Google that, or YouTube it. They're actually friggin' awesome. Their song Moonchild is my favorite, by Fields of the Nephilim. Moonchild. Go ahead, look it up. One of my favorites. Oof. Powerful. Thank you for the likings. Yes. Alright, so, to go down the list, you guys, you might want to take out your notebooks and pens, check it out. If not, then I'll go ahead and give you the information anyway. You got the clairs, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Just like you got 7 major chakras. Okay. But I'm going to get into it. You got clairvoyance, which is clear seeing or psychic vision, which can happen, which can happen when you are picking up off of someone else, or you're talking with them from a distance or face-to-face without actually speaking. You're actually able to see the visions that they're seeing. The second one is clairaudience, which is the ability to actually hear their thoughts. And if you cannot necessarily hear their thoughts, like, you know, as if a radio's playing, that never happens. It actually comes in the form of a thought, and it'll like pop in your mind. That's how you hear it. You got clairsentience, which is the clear feeling, sensing, or clear empathy. Karen, this is what you and I were talking about when you're empathing something and you're acting as a conduit. That's actually what happens, is clairsentience. Okay? Number 4 is clairtagency, which is clear touching. When you actually feel like somebody or something is touching you, or hugging you, or you feel warmth or cold, that's what that is. Claircognizance is clear knowing. When you have a clear knowing, you actually reach an understanding that is brought to you by the previous clairs. You're actually able to understand a person or a spirit for who he or she is, or what it is. Hold on. Okay. Okay, we have number 6, which is clairgustance, which is clear tasting. If you're actually able to taste something that you have not tasted in a very long time and that you have not had access to in goodness knows how many years, that's what that is. Sometimes it happens through memory, sometimes it's sent to you from a spirit guide, like, here, you know, you need to find this again. Like they're sending you a message. The 7th one is, clairalience, which is clear smelling. I get this a lot. Clear smelling, that's what that is. I get that mostly from my goddesses. They always remind me of different oils that I used to work with that I no longer work with, and they're like, hey, listen, you need to go find this. Okay? And here's a story, a true story at that. I went with an ex to Englishtown, New Jersey. Ba-da-ba, thank you, notification. I went to, hold on. I went to, like, this flea market thing, and there was, like, Jesus. Hey, guys. Wow. The last four are you. Okay, I got you. I got you, sis. I ended up going to the flea market, and I hit up this vendor of a person that my ex knew at the time. Her name was Zara. And I ended up finding this oil. If I could just, it's actually called Mystic Blend, I believe, by Spiritual Sky. If I'm mistaken, I'll correct myself on that, and I'll put that in the information for you guys. We're running on a half an hour. And I ended up finding, that was back in 2000 that I initially found that oil at that flea market and at that vendor. Now, fast forward it to 2014, I'm with my brother and future sister-in-law at that moment. She's my sister-in-law now. Love you, Nikki Bean. Shout-outs. Shout-outs, Greg. Love you. And we ended up going to this store called East Meets the West, and that's at the Rockaway Mall. And I ended up finding the oil. I'm like, it was right there on the counter. It was right there on the counter. And the reason why I had spent so long, that's 4 years, no, that's 14 years I've spent trying to find that oil again. Because one of my goddesses kept making me smell it. She kept sending it to me like, you need to find this again because you need it. It took me 14 years to find that again. And my brother and my sister-in-law knew nothing about it. They didn't point it out to me out of all the other stuff that they pointed out to me, and I thought that was beautiful and great. Very touching. That oil, they knew nothing about it. So when I found it, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, I have been looking for this for over 10 years. And they laughed at me. They looked at me and they laughed like, okay. But my brother was like, yeah, all right. Because he can understand. He grew up with me. Hello. So he knows when I say something, I really mean it. It took me 14 years to find that oil. I couldn't believe it. That's a long-ass time. You guys, it's been a half an hour. I'm cutting it short for the YouTube portion. It's been Jen catching you on DTWJ, keeping it real as always. This is Lady Serena. Thank you, brothers and sisters, mamas and papas, for showing up. Everybody else, you have a great day.